Hello YouTube, what's up? You guys saw the caption, and that's why you guys are here. Why I moved back to India from the US after my amazing undergraduation. So, I'm gonna answer that question right here, right now. So, stay tuned for the entire video. Let me give you a brief background about myself. I'm from Delhi, and I decided to go to the US for my undergraduation in economics after high school, which is class 12 in India. I was CBSE, so I went right through and completed my Bachelor of Science in Economics in 4 years from the University of Maryland, College Park. And then I looked for jobs, actually for a year, from August 2017 to July 2018. Then I decided to come back. So there are a lot of reasons for it, and let me start point by point. Point number one, the tech industry is blooming and rising, as we all know, and definitely in the US. But it's the non-tech sector that's the problem. It's pretty choked up. There are not a lot of opportunities in that sector as compared to the tech sector. All the contracting jobs that are available for H1B visa applicants are all there in the tech sector, not in the non-tech sector. So what happens is that the people who are looking for non-tech jobs, like myself, they find it really hard to get their H1B sponsored in the future because since non-tech jobs are not very specialized roles, employers don't feel incentivized to go out of their way and do all the massive paperwork and all the financing, the lawyer to get all the paperwork done. It's basically a hassle. They don't want to get into it, and they just prefer keeping it local and hiring an American citizen or a green card holder that doesn't have to go through the entire process of sponsorship. That is point number one. Moving on to point number two. As some of you may have heard, there is a lottery system for your H1B to get sponsored. A lot of people enter into a lottery, about 200,000 people, that is about 2 lakh people, and about 60,000 get the H1B approved. So now there's another hurdle. You not only have to get past the lottery, but before that you have to get your H1B approved to get into the lottery system. And nowadays the rejection of H1Bs to even enter the lottery system is at an all-time high. It's too much. A lot of H1Bs from big tech giants have been getting absolutely rejected, and it is an increasing percentage as time passes by. So that is definitely not a good signal. That is not good. Moving on to the third point. So there were a lot of companies in the past, big companies. Let's take, for example, the big four or tech giants, the big tech giants. They used to sponsor visas, a lot of them, for undergrad applicants, non-tech jobs, tech jobs, for everything. But now, starting 2018, 2019, under the current administration, they're under a lot of scrutiny and pressure from the administration. And because of that, they have a lot of the big companies have completely stopped sponsoring visas altogether, and have made their policy to only stay local and hire American citizens and green card holders. So that is another hurdle in your way to get your H1B sponsored. Point number three. Point number four. It recently came out in the news that the waiting for getting a green card is, for Indians specifically, is approximately 150 years. Now that is simply insane. What that actually means, if you think about it, is that let's hypothetically take, for example, that you start a job in the US on an H1B visa, and for example, you get promoted, but you never get promoted so high that you become a manager. So you're never able to enroll yourself in the manager quota to get the green card, which is much shorter. So what happens is that you're essentially working for the rest of your life, if you plan to stay in the US, on an H1B, which is highly restrictive. You cannot have an additional source of revenue. You cannot open your startup. Your spouses have a problem getting an H1B sponsorship, an H1B visa, or an applicable visa to work in the US, which can be extremely frustrating for the family and have direct or indirect negative effects overall. So this is another huge problem, being point number four. Now point number five, this is much more of a personal reason, but I always liked India more than the US. When I was planning to go to the US for my education, for my undergraduation, I didn't really think about getting a job there after graduation, or staying in the US for life or anything. I really didn't have big plans to stay there. So at max, when I thought about it, I was like, I was gonna work there for a year and then come back, get that good experience, and then come back and work in my own country. So when I applied for jobs for almost a year, from August 2017 to July 2018, and did not get any solid offers, it got really frustrating, and it was really affecting me both mentally and physically. So it was kind of a no-brainer. I just took the opportunity and came back home. That is point number 5. Last but not the least, guys, point number 6, and this one is really important, so you guys should hear this carefully. Fitness. Fitness is very, very important. Now, what happens in the US is that it is comparatively easier to get into colleges as compared to Indian universities. But what happens is that getting out is not so easy. So if you want to graduate with a respectable GPA, you have to work very hard. It's a cumulative course. All 4 years you have classes that go on for go on for an entire semester. There's semester courses, or quarterly, depending on the college you go, and every assignment matters. It adds to the overall grade in that particular class. It is really important. It is really important that you work hard and you stay on top of your academics, and academics are time intensive. They require a lot of work. So what happens is you're constantly under a lot of stress, and that has both indirect and direct effects on you. There's also a lot of inactivity because of the work you have. So you sometimes choose to just socialize with friends, or do something else and avoid exercising, and then it gets avoided for a long time, and then your health really deteriorates, both mentally and physically, and that is just terrible. It's highly unfortunate that anyone has to go through that, and when you do realize it's having so many adverse effects on you, that's the cue to get out. At least for me, everyone has a breaking point. I found mine, and if you stretch that too much, you might just break. You don't want to take that risk. So whenever you do feel something like that, you want to go to a comfortable place, whatever it is in your life. So these were all my reasons for coming back to India from the US after my amazing graduation. I have nothing against the US as a country. It is a great country. It is beautiful. It is really rewarding for people who want to work hard. And the American dream, I don't know about it being fully true, but it is definitely still true for some people. So if you really love America and want to stay there, I wish you the best of luck, and I really hope you do. But if you want to come back to India, then I hope these points really helped you, and I really hope that you make a good decision about your future and live life to the fullest. So stay tuned for more. If you like this video and found this informative, please support the channel by liking, sharing, and subscribing, and stay tuned for more, because this is where it's at, guys. Peace.